Good morning, I'm Ben Graham, and I'm here today to tell you about Moonpy. Before I can explain Moonpy, I first have to talk about the Python programming language. It's hugely popular, with over 9 million developers, and it's for a good reason. It's super easy to learn, read, and write, allowing developers to take a project from idea to product in an extremely short period of time. Because of this, Python has become the leading language for data science and artificial intelligence. All the big tech companies are using it, as shown by this graph highlighting the year they adopted it. The y-axis shows the millions of professional developers, and as you can see, its growth is accelerating. But Python does have some drawbacks. Python is slow, especially compared to lower level languages, and this makes it a poor choice for some performance critical programs and costly for use with large datasets. Also, Python has library dependency issues, making large projects difficult and expensive to maintain. Finally, the way Python is currently implemented, it requires a lot of resources, which limits the platforms it can be on. This is where Moonpy comes in. Moonpy is a Python distribution that can be used in place of the standard Python interpreter. When you use Moonpy, the same Python code now runs 10 to 100 times faster and would use 38% less memory. Also, it has an advanced packaging manager that is able to solve the previously mentioned library dependency issues, which reduces maintenance costs. Moonpy statically compiles Python, which results in a much smaller resource footprint, so now it can run on many new platforms. These features make Moonpy great for both developers and companies. It saves on resources, which cuts costs on both hardware and electricity. Also, Python is now a viable option for edge computing, including Internet of Things devices and web apps. Finally, it increases productivity because developers don't have to spend time optimizing or rewriting code to get the performance they need. Let me demonstrate how much faster Moonpy is. On the left is how long standard Python takes to render a simple scene. And now for the exact same scene rendered with Moonpy. It's the exact same code, exact same computer, but it's now 15 times faster. Here's how Moonpy compares technically to the competition. As you can see, Moonpy allows for the highest speed and lowest memory consumption without sacrificing functionality. Plus, its package manager removes the error-prone nature of standard Python. Moonpy is going to use a well-established business model, where it will be free for personal and academic use, which will be used to help grow the user base quickly, while corporations and professional users will have to purchase an enterprise license for $50 per user per month, which is extremely competitively priced. Moonpy's market can be broken into two groups: developers who already use Python and developers who wish they could use Python. We expect the 8 million existing Python developers to have a far faster adoption of Moonpy because no software rewrites will be necessary, while the adoption rate among the 24 million developers who are now able to use Moonpy due to the benefits of Moonpy will likely be slower due to the hassle of switching languages. If a company were able to capture the entire market, it would generate 19 billion in annual revenue. Obviously, I'm not expecting the entire market. Instead, I expect to capture 3% of the current Python market, which is reasonable following Anaconda's adoption rate. Plus, I project Moonpy will capture 0.5% of the systems in the web market within the same 3-year period. Using those projections, in 3 years, Moonpy would have a yearly revenue of $230 million. Because of the low cost of maintaining the distribution, we expect to have a large profit margin of 82% once a critical mass of users has been obtained. After over 1.5 years of development, Moonpy has entered its alpha stage. During this period, an offer was made by a private company to acquire the IP behind Moonpy, but we were not able to agree on terms. Once it is mostly compatible with the Python standard, Moonpy will enter its beta stage and become available for public testing. Following 1.5 years of this open beta, we plan to release the full enterprise version to the public. Thank you very much.